This is the Practical Homeopathy Podcast, episode number 137 with Joette Calabrese.
Hi, I'm Joette Calabrese, and I welcome you to our healthcare movement, yours, mine, and the countless men and women across the globe who have retaken control of their family's health with practical homeopathy. So, for the next few minutes, let's link our arms as I demystify homeopathy, what was once considered an esoteric paradigm, into an understandable, reproducible, safe, and effective healthcare solution available to all. This is the medicine you've been searching for, my unique brand of homeopathy, practical homeopathy.
Kate, and I want to welcome you back to the podcast. We are so glad that you're here. And if you are new to this podcast, this is the perfect podcast for you because we're going to be giving you some direction about how to learn homeopathy if you're new. But if you've been studying homeopathy for a while or even many years, this is also for you. So, Joette, let's get started.
Yeah, let's, Kate. We have a subject, right?
Yes, we're going to talk about where do I go from here? And so that might be someone who is new or has been using homeopathy for a while or even many years. So let's start off, Joette, with someone who is brand new to homeopathy. Maybe they just found homeopathy or just found you and learned about it. Where does that person get started? How do they learn more?
Let me start half step back. Why is it that they're here in the first place? Usually, probably 90%, I don't have numbers, but I can take a pretty wild guess, is that the reason that they're here looking at what we have to offer is because they've already suffered under the hands of another method. They're tired of the old way. It's like having a wound, and instead of it healing, it gets rubbed with salt. And it's being rubbed and abrased, and so that the person is constantly suffering or frequently suffering, or they're observing their family suffering from something, and darn it, those drugs just don't seem to pull it all the way to the end. Instead, drugs cover up. They make somebody a little more comfortable for a short period of time, and then in the long run, they suffer even grander. So they're looking for the same thing that you've looked for, that I looked for, that all of us who have found homeopathy were looking for. And some people come to it sooner, and some people come to it later. And so I welcome all of you who are new to this. Welcome. The water is just fine. It's really comfortable on this side of the discussion. So what people are looking for is, what do I use? What can I give my child who has frequent ear infections? Or what can I do about these aches and pains that I have all the time? Isn't there another way other than just taking acetaminophen? Or is there not another way to deal with these allergies that are driving me crazy so I can never leave the house and I can't eat this and I can't go here and I can't go there, et cetera, because I am so sensitive to the world around me? There's got to be another way other than these insufferable shots that I get every month that I've been taking for the last 15 years of my life. There's got to be another way. And so there is another way, and that's homeopathy. Now, many times people get homeopathy, the word, unfortunately, it's a word that includes the word home in it, and people think it means home remedies or holistic.
Yeah, that's so common.
It does not. It does not mean holistic. Could it be under the holistic umbrella? Perhaps. Does it mean home remedies? No. But then there's a little aspect of it in a way. It kind of lends itself to that thinking, but it's not home remedies. It is a specific medicine. And you can find out more about what homeopathy is on my website, and it will give you a lovely direction.
Yes. So there is a bar at the top of your website with different areas like home, new to homeopathy, sharp, free resources, etc. So if you just click on that new to homeopathy tab at the top, it'll get you started. It'll take you through all of the information about what homeopathy is and what it is not.
So one of the things that I've noticed, not only in myself, but in others through the years, is that we think, well, why can't we just use a little homeopathy and a little drug therapy and a little bit of essential oils and a little chiropractic, et cetera. And in some situations, we can do all of that. But as the person travels down this pathway, they will discover something that they never expected. And that is that homeopathy covers just about every condition known to mankind. And so it becomes as you move along in this, you'll find that, oh my gosh, I was able to take care of my child's otitis media in 3 doses. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Or that arthritis that I have in my knees is gone. I've been dealing with this for 5 years and taking all kinds of drugs that are affecting my liver, etc. So as you travel down this path, you may find yourself more and more excited about this because you'll see it helped my husband's shin splints and it helped my daughter's eczema and my mother's insomnia and my father's anxiety, et cetera, et cetera. And so what happens is that you get so wrapped up in it and you see how many things, so many sufferings that you can remove in your family's life that it starts to become a lifestyle. And those other paradigms often fall to the wayside. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessary. I'm just kind of warning you that that's probably forthcoming in your life. You're going to see such remarkable results as long as you follow the directions properly. And you do have to follow the directions properly. But you're going to see such remarkable results that you're going to question why you ever used anything else. Then you'll also have some failures as well. But you'll be spurred on by your successes enough times, is my guess, which is an educated guess because I've been observing this in others and myself for, close to 40 years, that you'll find yourself looking to homeopathy first instead of second or third. So where do we begin? That's the question, right, Kate?
Yes. Where does someone begin? How do they learn more about homeopathy if they're new?
Let me start with this. We have so many avenues from which to choose. There isn't one specific avenue. It depends on how fast you want to move along.
Right.
If you have a condition or you know someone who has a condition and you're trying to figure out what homeopathic medicine to use for that, it's very easy just to key into your browser Joette Calabrese and then the name of the condition. Because I have an article on so many conditions because we've been producing, and I've been authoring this blog for, I think we're at 14 years now, every single Sunday for 14 years, and it's a different subject every week. So it's likely you'll find a good answer in that blog. That's free. And I don't have any affiliate program with the companies that I direct people to purchase their medicines from. So it is pure information and that's it. I get no kickbacks. So that's one place to use, not just first, but even simultaneously as you go through the other ways of learning this. So another way is to go to Joette's Learning Center and scroll down to Gateway to Homeopathy. And there you'll find a way to learn homeopathy, some simple measures that affect most families, and you'll study that with other people online or maybe even locally. And that's a great way to learn it because you're learning with someone. There's someone who guides the group, and it makes it so much easier when you see that other people have had success, and then you get to know them. And those people, if you stay with these groups long enough, become your friends. And it doesn't matter that you live in Alaska and this new friend lives in Manhattan. It doesn't matter that the person who you've just been meeting with within this study group lives in Liverpool and you live in Chicago. Doesn't matter. Because now you've made friends with people of like mind. And people are coming into this for the same reason you are. They're looking for a solution to their own or their family's health problem.
I want to add, Joette, that on your website, joettecalabrese.com, there's a tab at the top that says Shop. And under Shop, there are the Gateway Study Group books that you can purchase and then get connected with other groups through that. So yeah, there are many ways to get connected, but this is a great way to start. Like Joette said, you are going to love the support that you get from these relationships that you build doing these study groups.
Can you imagine a world in which those people around you think similarly about health, that they've had the same kind of problems that you have, and you can discuss it with them and not feel alone and feel shamed for questioning? That's this world. That's the world I'm describing right now. And it really is girding to anyone's life who's questioning whether or not they should be moving in this direction and away from the old chemical burdened drug method.
Can we take a step back again for just a minute? And you might be wondering, okay, I'm learning by reading the blogs or in a study group how these medicines work, and I really want to get started. So if you're looking where to purchase these medicines, you have a blog, Joette, and it's titled Where to Buy Homeopathic Medicines. That's on your website. So if you're wondering how to know where the best place is to purchase your medicines, you can go there. But also homeopathic medicines are, I would say, becoming more and more prevalent in the stores, like your mainstream stores and your, of course, health food stores. So you can often get homeopathic medicines there as well.
Yes, and I also direct in the blog when you use my name and then the name of the condition and it opens up the article, I almost always include a link that will direct the reader to a place where it can be purchased.
So let's go back to those who are new. You had said you can utilize the free resources, the Facebook Lives, the blogs, the podcasts, and also get connected with a group of people studying homeopathy. And you can do that through your Gateway to Practical Homeopathy study groups. Now let's talk about those who've learned some about homeopathy and they want to go the next step and learn more. What do you suggest?
Well, there's Gateway 1, and then, of course, there's Gateway 2, so you can go on to that. But then the next step, and I don't even know if it's a next step, it could be, as I said, a simultaneous step, to go to Joette's Mighty Members, where you get information from me on a monthly basis. And then there's Joette's Mighty Members Plus, and you get even more information and information that I'm not comfortable readily putting out to the general public.
And even get to meet with you live once a month. So that's exciting. Students can ask you their questions and connect with you that way. And plus, there's so much more for Mighty Members and Mighty Members Plus. So check out those resources as well if you're interested in going further. What else?
Well, there are, of course, these podcasts where you can learn. I mean, we've been doing these for many years, and so there's lots of information on the podcasts for you to learn and build your knowledge day by day. I know some people who tell me they listen to these podcasts and any of the other even videos, they listen to them on a day-to-day basis so that they can increase their knowledge without putting an awful lot of effort into it. Instead of, while you're baking your bread, while you're raking the leaves, while whatever, you're making the beds, then you can be learning on a regular basis. Well, then the next place might be going to Joette's Learning Center and scrolling down and looking at the courses that I offer that are protocol-specific courses. Actually, what I should say is that they are condition-specific courses that teach protocols that are useful in these particular conditions. So for female conditions, we have a course titled Feminopathy. For gastrointestinal conditions, we have good gut, bad gut, etc. You'll get lost in those courses. There are a lot of them. And so there are enough that could keep you busy for quite some time. So once you delve that far, now I would go not just to one course, but consider maybe even two. So for people who have allergies and food intolerances, which are so closely related, they might want to take the allergic course as well as the good gut, bad gut course. So that's how you build the knowledge, one brick at a time.
Joette, I want to jump in and I want to tell people also how to find those courses. If you go to your website, you can click on the shop button again at the top of the website. And then the top listing there is called courses. And that is where the Learning Center is. And all of those courses are explained and you can find out more about them there. But Joette, I want to mention that some of your students don't go this route. They go directly from the Gateway to Practical Homeopathy study groups to your academy. So whether or not you go from the Gateway to the academy or take some courses and then go into the academy, I would like you to explain a little bit about what the Academy of Practical Homeopathy is and what kind of person might be interested in that.
Well, the Academy of Practical Homeopathy is an intense 12 months of rigorous study. Some of it is recorded, some of it is live, where we actually meet as a student body with me every week. And it is an in-depth study of homeopathy for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to learn how to be able to use it. Whether it's use for your family as a practitioner, we've had a lot of doctors and nurse practitioners and pharmacists graduate from our academy. Also, we've had farmers, we've had folks who have no interest in ever practicing homeopathy. They just want to know more because they've been bitten by the bug. And that's often what happens. The Academy curriculum is, as I said, it's rigorous. We teach history in depth. We teach the organon, which is the essence of where homeopathy began, by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. We teach it aphorism by aphorism. We teach how to navigate the repertory, which is important for people who are looking to really understand how far to go with a case. We teach case management. So what do you do when you don't know what to do? We teach more protocols. So to make it easy, at least to take that first step. I teach materia medica so that you understand the medicines thoroughly. And we require that every member of the student body join a study group that's within the academy so that they're learning with others. And we actually have assignments for each of the study groups to complete by the end of usually a couple weeks. So it's intense and it's glorious. It's intellectually delicious, as I say. So if you have a hunger for learning more, or you want to incorporate this into your already existing medical practice, or you want to begin a practice, or you simply want to be able to take care of your family with more aplomb, this is the place to go. Now, you would think that would be the end of it, right? It's 12 months of intensive work. After that, we have a second year called Mastery. And that is an 11-month program in which we take what you learned, the academic that you learned in the first year, and take it to the next level and put it into application even more in depth. So it's study of cases, case management, what to do even further when you don't know what to do. We navigate the repertory even more in depth. We study even more in-depth materia medica. There are interviews. I've interviewed important people in homeopathy in today's world, some of whom have passed on, and so we're lucky to have them as part of our curriculum. And the amount of information that is brought to the students' awareness is more than most students would have expected to learn. Many people come in thinking, oh, this is going to be a simple little few months or a year or so. No, this is very in-depth. I take this seriously, and I hope that the student does as well. But it's complete joy of learning. This is for the person who enjoys learning.
So if this sounds interesting to you and you want to know more about the Academy of Practical Homeopathy, we're going to put a link on the page where this podcast is found on Joette's website. And it will be to what we're calling the founders list. And that will put you on the list that you will get emails with information about the Academy once we are starting our enrollment period. We start every year in July. And so up until that point, we are taking applications. You submit an application and then we go from there. And we always have an amazing class of students. So it's very exciting. All right, we've covered you're a new person to homeopathy and you've known about homeopathy for a while, want to go deeper. And then for those who really want to learn more, then it's the Academy of Practical Homeopathy, or just taking all of your courses as well would be another thing. But I want to mention that all of Joette's courses, like allergic and mindful, they're all in the Academy. So if you want to go through all those courses as well as learn more, then the Academy is a great place to do that. Anything else that you want to add as far as tips about learning homeopathy for those who want to go deeper?
Well, one of the things that I find happens commonly is that people can have unrealistic expectations of what is going to happen after they've used a homeopathic medicine. And part of the problem is that more often than not, homeopathy is taught to the general public using an acute condition as an example. So for an acute condition, let's say it's a child with a, fever of 104, 105, and you use the homeopathic medicine, you're going to see a shift within an hour, sometimes even minutes. Maybe only 2 or 3 doses of the medicine, sometimes only 1. And so it's so remarkable that that expectation then becomes transferred to what the person can count on for chronic conditions. And chronic conditions can be much different. And even some acute conditions can be much different. So the expectations are based on, I wish I could give you absolute 100% parameters, but I can't always do that. I'll give you some generalized ones. If it's an acute condition, such as a fever or relentless vomiting or an earache or a panic attack, we might see, given the homeopathic medicine, we might see a shift within very short amount of time. And then we don't continue with the medicine. We just make note of what helped, what the medicine was that was used that brought about that resolution of the condition so that it can be used again at a later date should it need to be used again. But when it comes to a chronic condition, it can take some time. So for example, psoriasis, my friends, can take a year, sometimes longer than a year. Even eczema can take many months. We often see a shift in short order. We see a little bit of a difference, but expectations are huge because too often people expect that just a couple of doses of a remedy for something that they're suffering, if they don't see a change within those 3 or 4 doses, that means it's not going to work. But that usually is related to something acute, meaning a very short-lived condition, not a chronic condition that's been going on, perhaps on and off for many years. So expectations matter. So we have to know what it is we're looking for so that we can observe the improvement or the lack of improvement after using a homeopathic medicine.
Really good point. And I know it's interesting because you always say that give me a good UTI and it's easy, and a cold or a flu, though, can be complicated. So I think it's important to keep that in mind, that sometimes we think what's simple isn't simple. And I want to also mention that if you have a very complex case and you're just needing some help or want to know how to get started with a certain condition, or someone in your family is very sick and you need help, there's a website and it's findapracticalhomeopath.com. And that's where there's a listing of the students who have gone through and graduated from the academy or the academy and mastery programs. And those who are taking clients have their information. And so you can connect with someone there, a homeopath, or I should say a practical homeopath, who can help you and take your case.
Thank you for saying that, Kate. That's good information. And I want to appeal to those who believe in autodidactic lifestyle, which means self-learning, finding that the best way to grow as a human being is to constantly be learning. And it is a joyous way of living, to be constantly curious and finding solutions for those problems that are the most noteworthy in our lives at this moment in time. So I believe that homeopathy offers that. Not only the fact that it often gives us solutions, it's not 100%. Let me just remind everyone that this is not magic, it's medicine. And because of that, it takes care of a lot of conditions, but not all conditions. And so I want you to approach this as something that will help your family as well as quench that thirst for learning and growing and becoming a more capable human being.
What's that saying, Joette, that you said that I think it was Dr. Prasanta used to say that homeopathy has been known to...
So I believe it was Dr. Prasanta Banerjee who told me once that homeopathy has been known to cure all of human suffering. But not every person who has that condition will be cured with homeopathy. So some people who have psoriasis will be cured using homeopathy, while others who have psoriasis may not. So we have to keep that in mind as well. However, having said that, the beauty of homeopathy is that it doesn't cause side effects. You can overuse it, you can use it incorrectly, but it does not cause side effects because it's not synthetic, it's not patented, it's natural. And it's also something that in the home can wield great results.
And so no matter where you're at, we welcome you to this community. And if you get plugged in, you won't regret it. There's so many opportunities to learn and to grow and to connect. So thanks for joining us today.
It's my honor to share many lessons on this simple method of using homeopathy for free, without affiliates or advertising, here in my podcasts, but also my blog posts and Monday Night Lives. But it's critical that you learn how to use these medicines properly. These podcasts should serve as only the beginning of your training. Peruse joetteslearningcenter.com to find fun study group opportunities and in-depth courses developed by subject. So with the proper training, you can join the thousands of students before you in developing the confidence and competence to protect the health of your family and loved ones with my brand of homeopathy, Practical Homeopathy.
You just listened to a podcast from internationally acclaimed homeopath, public speaker, and author, the founder of the Academy of Practical Homeopathy, Joette Calabrese. Joette's podcasts are available on all your favorite podcast apps. To learn more and find out if homeopathy is a good fit for your health strategy, visit practicalhomeopathy.com.